Chapter 7 Additional Topics in Trigonometry and 7.3 Polar Coordinates. The objective is to solve problems related to polar coordinates. Rectangular Cartesian coordinates. You are familiar with plotting with a rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. As shown in this figure, this is a rectangular coordinate system. Cartesian coordinates are usually in the form of coordinate x, y. So for this case, 3, 3. 3 represent x value and another 3 here represent y value. X and y represent the distance of horizontal and vertical from the origin respectively. In contrast, polar coordinates has this system. So here we are going to look at a new coordinate system called the polar coordinate system. In rectangular coordinate system, we use x, y, but in polar coordinates, we use r, theta. Polar coordinates quantify the location of the point based on two elements. First, the distance between the point and origin. This is denoted by r. And the second element is the angle between the point and a fixed direction. This is theta. So combining these two elements, polar coordinates are in the form of r theta. For example here, this point represents 3 set of 2, pi over 4. The first element is r, which is the distance from the pole to that point. And another element, pi over 4, represents the angle. In polar coordinates, the center of the graph is called the pole. So this is the pole, the center. In Cartesian or rectangular coordinates, we call that as origin, but in polar coordinates, we call this as pole. Angles are measured from the positive x-axis. We always know this, right? Points are represented by a radius and angle r theta. R means radius and theta means angle. To plot a point in polar coordinates, first find the angle and then follow the distance from the pole. So here is the systematic approach to plot. You have to find the angle first and followed by find the distance or radius. For example, plot the point of polar coordinates 2, 1, 3, 5. Based on this polar system, remember we always start at this position 0, and for positive angle, the rotation will rotate counterclockwise like this, and the angle stated here should be correct. This should be 90 degree, 180 to 70, and then you can put the increment by 30 degree, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, and so on. Okay, now look at the coordinate given. The first element is r, the second element is theta. So to plot a point, you must look at theta first, the angle first, okay? So where is 135? 135 is located here. It's between 120 and 150. So this is 135. You have to determine the direction. Then you have to measure the r. R is 2. Means that the distance from the pole is 2. Each ring represents the unit, okay? The first ring 1 unit, second ring 2 unit, 3 unit, and so on. So 2 units, we want r equal to 2, so the distance at this direction 1, 2. So this is the point. So that is the point of 2, 1, 3, 5. Another example, plot the point of polar coordinates 4, 2, 4, 0. We know that polar system has r theta. First, you have to look at theta. So first, you have to prepare the system. Always start 0 degree at the positive x-axis, and you have this angle. And for the intermediate steps, you will have this value. Okay, now we want to look at angle 240. 240 is here, so we can remark this line. We want to focus this line. Okay, this is the angle 240. And then look at the R value, which is 4. So if you measure the first ring as 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the position, the plotting is right here. Question number 3. Plot the point of polar coordinates 3, 7 pi over 6. Okay, so it is in the form of r theta. So you have to determine the angle first. The angle is given in radian. So it's better to convert the angle in terms of degree. So to convert into degree, the value 7 pi over 6 must be multiplied by 180 over pi. So you can calculate this. It will give you 210. So the angle is 210 degree. So we want to label the angles on the system. Similar as before, we can label by increment of 30 degree. Okay, now look, we have to determine the ray or the direction of 210. Look at the angle here. Where is 210? 210 is here, so we can remark this line. Okay. Then we look at the R value. R is 3. R is 3. So let's label the ring. The first ring represents 1 unit, the second ring 2 units, and so on. So if U1 3 means that the distance from the pole 1, 2, 3. So this is the point.